Going on, guys? Matt, what's going on? Stick 4531. Going on, man? Chris, Bengals or Chiefs? I really want the Bengals to win, but I took the Chiefs. Smart play, but I would love for the Bengals to win. Joe Burrow to come out on top. I'm rooting for Joe Burrow, but I did take the Chiefs. I did take the Chiefs. So I guess we'll I'm excited for the games though. I took a bunch of parlays. I also have a ton of free bets. Let's give 2 minutes for everyone to get in here. How was everyone's weekend? What's going on, guys? Chris, I also took that same parlay as you for the Chiefs to win every quarter. It was like plus 150,000. I had a $40 free bet that it's like 40 to win $32,000. Minimize this. Yeah, my hands are sore. I had to shovel my entire driveway. I'm home for the weekend with my parents. I had to help them shovel. Can't let the old folks do it themselves. No team has won ever. Yeah, it's gonna be a battle for sure. Let's give it a few more moments before we start. Anyone have any questions before we get started? Any questions before we get started? Please ask. Zion's National Park, I've been there. That's a great place. I've been to a lot of those parks. Yellowstone was great. Seeing those what are those water spouts called? Forgot. Ever look for volume divergences? No, I really just play price action. Terrence, I have the paid version, but I'm pretty sure the free version is like the exact same thing. The only difference is like I think I have like unlimited alerts. So if I click this, add alert, free, I have like unlimited of them. Do I prefer log or regular chart view? I've honestly never used log. I don't really. There's a minimal difference in my opinion. I'm playing price action, so if I have a predefined entry and exit spot, it's all going to be the same thing. Which you should always have a predefined entry and exit plan. The geysers, that's what they're called. Yeah, those things were really cool. Yeah, paid gives you more indicators. So I have like all these, but I don't really use most of them. They just implemented, if you go to indicators, technicals, chart patterns. You can now scan, it's all in beta for these patterns, right? So for example, bullish flag, let's see if anything comes up, or head and shoulders. So let's see, hold on. Wedge. See if anything comes up anywhere. So here we go. Here's like an automated, right? This is a wedge. Yeah. So for example, the wedge pattern is on, and then it draws the wedge for you. It's pretty cool. But it's great for beginners, but for someone like who's experienced, you know, it's not really necessary, but it's always cool to see, you know, what the algo can spot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure CBLS uses log. It's just personal preference in my opinion. Any other questions before we get started? These are the tickers I have on my watch list. All of these have amazing setups. And when I say amazing setups, they all have great risk to reward ratios, which is all you need in trading. They all have like over a 3 to 4 to 1 risk to reward. So SPY, we had actually a great play last week. See, I'll open up the Discord. Okay, so here, what, 445 call at 250? There a timestamp that I could see? No. So why did I buy SPY on Friday? All I did was take it at the break of this yellow line. Right, so we were consolidating, right? So we have this level of resistance, multiple rejections across the board. We have higher and higher lows, and then we have basically a double top here. So at the break of this level, we have two areas of confluence, right? So we have this white trend line, and then now this double top here. So all I did was just take the entry on the back test here, right? So if we go to the 3-minute time frame, for example, right, we test this level, we do a little fake out, and then we come back down, we retest those EMAs using the BT cloud. We entered right here, right on the back test, and then it took off. So this was a great risk to reward play. Stop loss on this play was like right around there, around 435.59, right below this previous low, and our price target was 444, but we scaled out on Friday because it was a 0 data expiration, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it was a 2-4 play, but it was a weekend, so never a bad idea to take profits going to the weekend. So this was an amazing play, worked out perfect, and I really like SPY this week to continue to the upside. We may get a retest, right? After a breakout happens, we always get a retest. But I'm looking for calls over 444.03. Really think this is the bottom here. Right, here's the overall chart for SPY. So here's the daily, right? So we had our move down, we consolidated for about 4 to 5 days, and now it's ready to make its move back up. Every single time this happens. Also, this low right here, right? So we previously rejected, acted as a new support, acted as a support again, and acted as a support again last week, right? We have higher and higher lows on the dailies, and we're breaking this trend line again on the daily here. So I think we start to see some upward momentum, maybe a back test first, but market looks very bullish here, technically, right? All I do is play technicals. So SPY looks great. QQQ, very similar, right? So we have, here's the overall chart, here's the daily, this previous double top here acted perfectly as a new support, right? So we faked out to the downside, classic move, right to this old level of resistance, right? So we rejected here right around 335, and we rejected here right around 335. And what do you know? We found a new support right at that old resistance every single time. It's like a ladder. I love that analogy. It's a ladder. So it's it's a very simple move, textbook play. QQQ, I think we break out to the upside. These are my levels of resistance above. Great risk to reward. Anything below 342.80, maybe we test 337.95, and then below that we have the low of 334. Right, so it's just a ladder. Just a ladder. But these are definitely setting up for a nice move. Yep, camera, I could review VIX, VIX. So what I was watching was this, right? So here's VIX volatility indicator, basically. We had the bull flag, right? So we had this flag. We are making tighter and tighter moves. And then we have a triple top here. So this was towards the end of the day here. We were testing this triple top, ended up falling to the downside, and we broke down below this white trend line here, right? So we have 1 touch, 2 touch, and 3. So anytime a support breaks, it tends to fall below, retest, right? So it retested. And once this rejected here is when we took SPY calls, right? So I knew once this rejected, we had a successful old support turn into a new resistance. And then we broke to the downside. Right, so very, very simple textbook move, VIX and SPY. That's all I was watching. Once that rejected, we knew this old level of support was gonna retest, right? And we ended up basically retesting. And if you see this old level of resistance, boom, touched perfectly. Textbook play. Ryan said market looks bullish, but some huge put orders came in at close. Could it be a huge trap? It's not possible to know, right? We'll never know until the market is live. But I don't really like following big put orders a lot. Typically they could be just hedges, right? So a firm could be taking hedges. Anyone who's long commons takes put hedges. Just a smart thing to do long term. So you don't really know. We just have to play it based off price action. If levels break, like for example, if the low breaks, then we could be bearish. But since we broke out to the upside with strong volume, and if we look at the volume profile level on the sides here, we broke above where the highest amount of volume is. So this is like a classic area that we might test around 372 on QQQ. We might test about 457, 458 on SPY. I think we see a huge run if this breaks. Apple, great play as well on Friday. Same exact thing as SPY and QQQ. Anyone have any questions before I keep going? Let me wait a second. Any questions before I continue? Hopefully everyone likes the breakdown. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Anyone else snowed in? Get some activity in the chat. Tesla, I'll be covering. This is my watch list, guys, by the way. So if you see the ticker here, I'll be covering it in a little bit. Okay, Apple, since no one else wants to chat. Same exact thing as SPY and QQQ, right? So we have this old level of resistance. We broke through, we retested. And this is where we took calls, right? The retest. Not snowed in. Crypto market, I don't really look at crypto, honestly, but I can take a look, I guess. So this 170.30 level is this old resistance, right? So this old resistance acted as a support, acted as a support again. Right, multiple times it acted as a significant level. So we closed right at that level, 5.05 points right above. So I think if we break this and hold and close over, we could potentially see a pretty big move on Apple to around 177, right? So they just killed earnings, great earnings, multiple upgrades on price targets. I think Apple sees new highs, especially with the SPY and QQQ being, super bullish with breakouts. Definitely like Apple here. Tesla. So here's the daily. Here is the daily. So first of all, actually, let's take a look at the weekly first. I want to show you guys something. So here's the weekly. All right, if we go from the low to now, we have so many touches across the board, and we bounced off this level perfectly. Like perfectly. So if this candle holds, super bullish. Like very bullish. Also, this high, if we can take out 900, I think we potentially test new highs again. I'm just saying it now on stream, just in case it happens. I think if we break 900, break this wedge here, we could see 1200s. Not this week, right? But within the next few weeks, right? That was the weekly chart. So if that candle holds, but let's get on to the intraday time frame, because that's what we mostly play here. Little wedge that I'm looking at, anything over 857, I'm looking at calls here, right? I have my alert set right before it, that way I'm notified. Anything over this, I think we see a nice run up to around 900. That'd be a beautiful play. Would be a beautiful play. So this is like the little intraday wedge that I was watching. Overall, looks like we might see a strong reversal, right? We have multiple levels of resistance on this white trend line. So if we can break this 857 level, we should test 900. And if we can break out over this level, oh baby, we should test 987. Which lines up perfectly, right? This old level of support acted as a resistance. We have confluence here, multiple trend lines. Should see that breakout, right? Look at this support as well. We bounced perfectly, right? 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3, 4, and then 5, right off the low. Looks so good. Looks like really good. The risk to reward here is unbelievable. Like, this is a great spot to edge shares, in my opinion. Commons. Right? Great risk to reward here. So stop loss is around, I'll actually plan it out, right? So I would put my stop loss on shares right below this candle here, right down here. So entry here, stop loss there, price target at least there, right? So that's a 2-to-1 risk to reward. But the high, which is very possible, is 6-to-1. That's all you can ask for. Microsoft looks so good. Like, tech looks amazing this week. How long have I been trading? I've been trading since, for now, almost 8 years. Almost 8 years. Yeah, 2015. Yeah. Okay. Could be a wave 4 of 5. Let's see. You're right. So like this would be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be a full 5-wave sequence, or right, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We really have to see what happens here. We're at a pretty significant level. If we can reclaim 900, right, that's a major reclaim with this old level of resistance, right? Basically a triple top here. Love the bull energy for tech. Yeah, it looks good, man. You just always got to play technicals, or you don't have to, but that's what I play, and it's worked for the last 8 years, so I'll continue to do it until it doesn't work. Microsoft, we have this level of resistance at 308.50. We closed at 308.29. We can break this level. We should test 311.49. Why? Right, so we rejected it twice here, acted as a support twice here, and then acted as a resistance again. So if we can break 308.50, we should test 311.49, and then over that, right, just plain levels. 317, right around 317.60. We have a double bottom here, pretty significant level, double support here. Just a ladder, right? Think of it as a ladder. Great risk to reward, right? Enter here, 317 plus with a short stop loss right in this region if we reclaim this wedge. Amazon, love Amazon as well, right? So we see a steep decline right off of, and look where we bounced, right? So this old level of resistance turned to a support, and we bounced perfectly. Typical, right? So after a massive decline, 37.73 to now 2,700, crazy, 1,000-point drop since November, end of November. We have now formed a wedge, right? So we have higher and higher lows, lower and lower highs. We broke out end of the day. Now we are testing this trend line here. So if we can break over around 2,900, I think we see a massive, massive move to 3,000 plus. And then once this breaks, 29.75 and 3,000 breaks, easily 31.26. Right, support here, support here. Might get a little foggy up into the 3,100s, but I think there's a massive, massive move if this can catch fire. I do still have my SPY and Apple runners, by the way. I know you said I moved on, but I do have my runners still. What's my perspective on 131 420 put having? You know, it doesn't really interest me. I'm playing technicals. I'm looking at the chart. So all I'm doing is just playing the chart. Chart's bullish, in my opinion. I'm going to be bullish. Don't look at any other factors besides unusual options activity. Personally, it's my opinion. Everyone else has different requirements for plays, but this is how I play, and it works very well. I'm currently on my longest winning streak of my trading career, over a month of just straight green. Pretty crazy. Which is crazy also because the market has been very whipsawish. biggest factor has been patience. Just patience. What's up, Jared? Cover DraftKings quick. So I haven't looked at this in a long time. Wow, it's literally right at the level. So we had a 5-wave sequence here. I deleted my chart, but we had a 5-wave sequence. We have an ABC correction, and C waves typically go to the 1618 of wave A. All right, so I measured from below to the high, and they typically reverse at the 1618, which is right where we are. And if we take a look where we are right at this old level here. Right, so this old resistance double top here is now acting as a support. So this is a great spot to add long term. Good risk to reward. This is an amazing risk to reward, actually. Right, so you enter here. Stop loss, I would honestly put it at the lows around 10, right? So, I mean, like a 50% drawdown, but I'd put it right around, actually, right around 15. And the price target is the highs. I mean, there's huge upside potential here, right? So at least a 7-to-1 risk to reward. To be conservative on this one, right, you could do this double bottom here. It's a 3.5 risk to reward. Still good. I like it long term. So on my watch list, wanted to ask what to do between under 444 of SPY and 431. So when you're in a range, right, you don't want to trade the range. You want to play the breakouts or the breakdowns. You don't need to trade every day, right? A lot of days I also sit out. Always trade the breakouts or the breakdowns, right? So if we're in a choppy move like this right here, this is an area you don't want to be in, or you don't want to play. Facebook I haven't covered yet. I'm actually onto that next. We just covered Amazon, covering Chewy next, then Facebook. I'm moving my way down this list, by the way. So if you just joined in and you haven't seen me cover this, you can also just go back in the stream and watch it again. Appreciate it, guys. Missed your thoughts on Tesla. So you can actually just go back a little bit, go back a few minutes, and check it out. In for 10 years? Yeah, I mean, in 10 years, DraftKings better be massive. I mean, the sports industry, the gambling industry is just popping off, so. Jared, but that Peloton position, I don't know, man. I just don't have faith in that company, so that's why my opinion is like so solid on Peloton. Unless they're bought out, right? The only option Peloton has is to be bought out, in my opinion. What's up, Chris? Long time no speak. Chewy. Why do I like Chewy, right? So we have this level of resistance. We broke out, and now we are pulling back. Let me see the daily quick. All right, so we rejected this 45.86 level, which lines up perfectly with this old resistance turned into a new support, right? So typical that it rejected there. So we also have a inverse head and shoulders, right? We have our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder. And our right shoulder is a perfect bull flag. And we are so close to breaking out. So over 44.19, which is this candle high. I think we test 45.86. Then if this breaks, the show goes on. I think this is a great swing play. Can definitely test these highs here. around 60, 61, which lines up perfectly, right? So this old resistance turned into a, or this old support turned into a new resistance. Very, very textbook. Need to break this level first though. 50. Yeah, Chewy's very clean. Like this is a very textbook chart. Looks great. Great risk to reward, right? Calls above. If it falls below around 41.30, just stay away. Or puts. I don't like switching though intraday between calls and puts. Right, if I'm playing calls, I typically just want to stick with calls. If I'm playing, right, if I'm bearish on the day, then I'll just stick with puts. But I don't really play puts. If Apple tanks, whole market goes with it. Apple's not tanking. They just had a killer earnings. Overall trend is to the upside. We just had a dip. Right, we're in a massive bull run. Massive, massive bull run. Apple has no reason to tank also. Technical wise. Facebook. So let's take a look at the daily. So this 304.67 level, major, right? Old resistance turned into new support, bounced again, right? A little fake out before that breakout, and then we broke it, and now we're consolidating right below it. So also have this level of support, right? 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, 4, and 5, perfect bounce. Now we're consolidating, right? This is a bear flag, right? So if I pull up the inverse chart, Alt-I, right? This is a bear flag, or now a bull flag since we're looking at the inverse, but it is breaking to the downside, right? So now this is the regular chart breaking to the upside. I like it. Tech is strong. QQQ is breaking out. I think Facebook moves. Great risk to reward here as well, right? Stop loss below the low, 293. Price target is, first price target is around 309. Falls over this double top here, or even triple top, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections of this level, 301.63. We closed right at the level. So if this breaks, we should test 304.67 and then over that 309.50. Just play the ladder. Great, great setup. And I think we test this old level of resistance. AMD kind of sketchy here, but I like the daily chart. Right, so we rejected once, turned into almost a triple bottom here, right? So old resistance turning into a new support, and we bounced right off that level again. So amazing risk to reward as well on tech. We are consolidating, right? So we're getting tighter and tighter price action, have that flag again, and we broke out to the upside. Right, so now we're testing this level of resistance right around 105.24, right? We close right at it. If this breaks, we can break this white trend line here. Easily test this triple top here around 116. Amazing risk to reward. We have so many opportunities this week. So many opportunities. This is like the best risk to reward week I've seen in a long time. Even if nothing runs, right? Nothing is automatic here. Nothing is automatic. Right? These all can fail. All of these setups can fail to the downside. But they all have great risk to rewards. They all have amazing risk to rewards, which is all you can ask for. Right? So we have predefined entry and exit points. Yep, so old resistance, new support, or vice versa. Old support, new resistance. Doesn't really matter how far back. I mean, the further back it goes, the stronger the level is. Right? So this is the daily. This level rejected right around, right? So right around 100. Right? Psychological level, we rejected 100 twice here. turned into a new support, and acted as a support again. So the more touches it has, the further back it goes also, the stronger that level is. Good question. Great question. NVIDIA. So the daily, right? We had this this wedge here. We broke out to the downside. This old resistance, we had a triple top here, right? We had 3 levels of rejections, and then we fell down below it. We're sitting right below it. But this pink trend line, right? We have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, and we reversed right at it, right? 2 bottoms here, high or low. And now we are forming this wedge here, which looks ready to go pretty parabolic if you ask me, right? This white trend line, multiple levels of rejections, and we closed right at it. I'm gonna set my alert on this level here, right? This triple top, right around 230. If 230 can break, I think we fly here. We at least test this bottom here around 256. Great risk to reward as well. Boeing. Boeing, I really like here as well. So, why do I like Boeing? I'm gonna delete this to clean it up a little bit. So, Boeing, right? Old support. We bounced perfectly off of it. What happened last time we touched this level? We went from 185 to 229, 230. We're sitting right at this level again. We are wedging perfectly on the smaller time frame. And we broke out end of day. Right? So old level of resistance, break out, we broke out through this candle, and we closed right above. If this breaks around 190, right, which is this old support, I think we go. Really like this higher low here. BABA also. Take a look at this chart. We have a triple bottom here. Right? 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce. This level of resistance, I think we retest this level here. Great risk to reward. Like, all these charts look fantastic. They all look amazing. Triple bottom here. I'm gonna include, so AMD, BABA, and NVIDIA all have like amazing risk to rewards. And Tesla. There's so many good charts. Last but not least is Adobe. I saw some pretty interesting flow on this, and I like the chart. Right, so we have this huge rising wedge. We broke to the downside, but now we're forming this wedge here. Right, so this 786 fib level is measured from below the high. We are right at the 786. We saw a strong bounce right off of it, and we have multiple inside candles. Kind of broke to the downside, but we take a look at the 1 hour chart. Perfect wedge. We just broke out end of day. If we can break 520 on this, I think this tests 536 and then breaks out to right around this level, 582. Huge move setting up if that low holds. 503, 500. Yeah, if Apple runs, Microsoft, Adobe, they should all follow. So these are all great setups. That's my watch list, guys. That is my watch list. Need a coffee. Any questions? I think I'm just gonna leave the stream at that, so whenever people want to look back, they could just see my chart analysis. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Pfizer. I see a nice inverse head and shoulders here. Right, so multiple levels of support turned into a new resistance. And here we have, right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Perfect, perfect inverse head and shoulders. Over around 54, 55. To be exact. Oops. 54.87. Looks good. Looks real good. I actually really like that. Add that to my watch list. Pfizer. It's a good call. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. This is a great chart, right? Multiple levels of rejections. Inverse head and shoulders right at the potential breakout point. Looks very good. Set my alert. Qualcomm. Expecting a gap down? Why are you expecting a gap down? Would love to know. Chart looks pretty good to me. Damn it. All right, so this old resistance turned into a new support, and then we had a double bottom here. Very, very strong. Buyer stepped in here. Nice move to the upside. Kind of looks pretty good, man. Oh, they have earnings on the 2nd. Gotcha. Okay. Definitely an important factor. But the chart looks great. But since they have earnings, I would stay away. Intel. Only thing on this is this bottom here. Right, very ugly chart. Very, very ugly. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, really no setup here. Needs back over this 47.91 level. Other than that, that's about it for this chart. Let's take a look at the intraday. So decent setup. Right, multiple levels of rejection, broke out, retested on this candle here, and then saw some upside, then broke over this high. So if it can break 47.91, it should continue to run and potentially fill this gap. So I do like the smaller time frame on this. But overall chart, right, we're in a pretty significant downtrend, so remember that. Game stream, I'm down to do that later. Play some Battlefield. Net. Wow. Stay away. If you're a bull here, huge downtrend. I mean, if it can break it, it will go, but I'm not looking at this. Starbucks. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Ugly chart, big downtrend. No setup, just consolidation, choppy price action, pretty ugly. Yeah, Intel short term definitely looks good. PLTR, this is just this is like a laugh stock of into it here. I'm staying away, that's for sure. This level needs to be reclaimed. 17, right? So old resistance turned into a support, and then once it fell through, it rejected again on the retest and just saw some more downside. Technically wise, this is brutal. Long term, if you believe in the financials in the company, go ahead. SE, ugly chart, not looking at it. BDU is ready. I agree, Chris. Multiple levels of resistance. I already had it charted. Look at that. Multiple areas of support as well. All right, so we are pretty bottomed out here. Also, perfect balance off this higher low. This can break. All right, we should see a break of that. All right, we'll just play the daily candles. 165, 173, 182. Like a machine gun. Also PDD, Chris. I'm pretty sure this looks good as well, yeah. All right, so overall downtrend, so pretty ugly. But we have a double bottom here, higher low, and this pink trend line, multiple areas of rejections. Good risk to reward, all you can ask for. MSTR. All right, ugly chart, needs to reclaim around 411. Wouldn't look at it here on the daily. Let's take a look at the intraday. Pretty ugly. Nothing too special here. Penny stocks, I don't do that. Don't do any penny stocks. ESM daily. Ugly. Look at this consolidation. This looks like Amazon. All right. Ugly, ugly chart. Take a look at the smaller time frame. Nothing too special. Any of the Wall Street bets tickers I'm staying away from. Neo, Palantir, Fubo, AMC, GameStop. Right, this broke down. Originally, I thought this would move back around 37. Right, we had a flag and it broke out of the flag. Ugly, ugly chart now. Right, so Neo, Palantir, Fubo, GameStop, AMC, all those tickers, just it's not even worth it, guys. Just play the good chart setups. If you guys can, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ugly, good for puts, Rise? No. Ugly just means that the setup is just awful. But on that note, guys, I think I'm going to head out. It is 12:21. Football games start at, what time's the first game? I think 3 Eastern. Let's see. Yeah, 3 Eastern. Gonna go hit the gym. Today's leg day. It's just brutal. I do not feel like hitting legs. But if you guys have any other questions, make sure you join the Discord. We have a free version, paid version. We have our own unusual options activity platform. If you're not in. So, everyone go hit the gym. Let's get fit. Let's get rich. And let's stay healthy. Have a good one, guys.